Hi guys. It's time to do another little, kind of like a collection video. It's been requested a couple of times that I do a video that's more focused on the games that I have in my collection. So let's go ahead and get started with that. First I have this interesting little box. Carmageddon. This is a game that was inspired by the old 70s movie where you get points for running over pedestrians. In the game, they're technically supposed to be zombies or something, but essentially they're just, pedestrians that you get points for. You also, in the game, get points for doing damage or destroying your rival cars, similar to the movie. The movie, by the way, was the original Death Race 2000. And it's just a pretty wacky game. This is the first game that I got for my Mac. And I don't know, this game's, 15 years old now, I guess, or something like that. But yeah, really fun car. You play with the keyboard. So it's basically just, direction pad kind of thing, and then you've got a couple of extra buttons on your other hand that you can, make the car jump or, handbrake turns and stuff like that. And of course there's a regular brake as well. So the handling, it's an arcade kind of handling for the car, but the kinds of acrobatics you could make your car do were pretty fun, and you drive on top of buildings, and there's lots of demolition, which is always kind of fun. So anyway, this box I can actually open. Looks like inside we've got the original Carmageddon program. All the pages. And looks like I'm using this box to store a few other items. Some reference cards for the Splat Pack, which is an add-on for Carmageddon, and Carmageddon 2, which I also played for a while on my Mac. And there's some other stuff in here. There's another addendum for the Mac CD-ROM, but anyway, some interesting stuff in here. I also keep a Quake 3 Arena book in there. I guess I'll go ahead and take that out for right now. But yeah, that was a fun game. Here's the actual CD for the Splat Pack. Yeah, pretty funny. I also played Quake 3 Arena. You can see that here. And yeah, again, played this on Mac. This was when I first got into first-person shooters, and I have to say that I found it extremely difficult at first. I probably spent the first 2 weeks just trying to get used to the controls, because it's basically backwards. The D-pad was in your left hand, and you had to use the mouse to, obviously those of you who played first-person shooters on a computer, it's the mouse that obviously does shooting and a lot of the directional control as well, particularly when you learn how to use strafing. Yeah. First 2 weeks I was convinced that I was never going to be any good at this sort of game, but over time and practice, of course, eventually got over it and got to be, good enough to be able to really enjoy myself in that game. So, yeah, that's a great game. I enjoyed it a lot. This is the game that I like the most for playing, among friends. So if you have like a computer lab full of machines that you can set up with the game and have them all on a LAN, then you can play together. You can set up battles with the bots, and yeah, quite a lot of fun. Another similar game, Unreal Tournament. Kind of similar, you know, it's another first-person shooter, of course, but to me, Unreal was a little more Blade Runner styled, I guess. You know, lots of city arenas to have combat in. And I enjoyed Unreal as a single player kind of thing a lot more than playing. I mean, it was fun to play, you know, again, when you set up a LAN of a bunch of computers with all your friends together and play against the bots and so forth and whatever you want to do. But it just seemed like Unreal was more fun to play by myself. So yeah, it's a really fun first-person shooter, and I have both of these still loaded on my old eMac. It's a G4 processor, and that computer's well over 10 years old now, but it still runs these games really well. I actually was able to bump up the skill level on these games because the computer was just faster and able to, you know, process everything so much more quickly, so you could play at a higher level. That's about it for the computer games that I have. Back to this Quake 3 Arena booklet. I thought it was kind of neat to find this. I didn't know I still had it, but pretty cool. Has the installation notes, these different characters, explanation of who they are, the different items that you can pick up and so forth. Oh yeah, pretty neat to still have that. Again, going back 10 years or so, I was introduced to the PlayStation 2 by this game, Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Wow, I've bought this game many times over. That's why I've got this copy is a used copy, but I think I gave my original copy to my brother, and of course wanted to buy it again. But yeah, I still play this game a lot on the PlayStation 2, and I can't say enough about what a good job I think they did. Rockstar was just utterly amazing at how they executed this game. It's definitely my favorite. Just love the music. I love the South Florida ambiance, and you know, the gameplay is just endless. You can play the missions if you want to, and or you can just kind of explore, or, you know, blow shit up, as they say. You know, whatever you want to do. It's kind of a sandbox game, so you're pretty free to play however you want to. More on that later. I'll probably make a video just about that game sometime. But that led to, I went backwards, got Grand Theft Auto 3, which is really fun also. And I eventually also got Grand Theft Auto Vice City Stories. I also do have Liberty City Stories somewhere, and I also got San Andreas, but I never got around to playing it. I figured I should have San Andreas in my collection, and I just never found the time to play it. But yeah, I did play through Vice City Stories and Liberty City Stories all the way, but pretty much always come back to the original Vice City. The first racing game I ever played was actually given to me by a friend of mine. The Gran Turismo 3 A-Spec. I played it for about a week, and I almost decided I didn't like it, and came very close to giving it back to my friend, but luckily I decided to give it another try, and I eventually fell in love with the game and the handling, and this was the game that really got me into racing games in general. And yeah, very influential. That, of course, eventually led to Gran Turismo 4. This would be about the time when I decided that I was done playing with the controller, and I finally got a wheel with the pedals and a cockpit that I could mount them to and all that sort of thing. So, yeah, this was when I really got serious about playing racing games. And it was sometime after I'd been playing this game that I actually attended racing school for real. So, Need for Speed Most Wanted. Oh, fantastic game. I really, really liked. It was such a cool, just the style, the world that you were playing in. The choice of cars was really good, and I liked the handling a lot too. I mean, I was definitely getting into, wanting a more simulation sort of experience and not so much the arcade feel, but I think they did a good job of being a good enough mixture of both that you could still enjoy it. And yeah, it was just really fun. Super high speed and just lots of improvisation. I never really memorized any of the roads, so you're always just reacting and not so much doing a course that you already know well. So, very good game. I wish they had a version of this that was... they do have an updated version of this for PlayStation 3, but I haven't had a chance to see if I'd like it as much, so who knows. For the PlayStation 3, of course I had to buy the Gran Turismo 5 Prologue. Very limited. Probably took me a week or two to play through everything and even grind enough to be able to afford the one Ferrari F1 car that they had in this game. But I have to say that I lost interest in the prologue after not very long, because the choice of tracks that they put in the game were not necessarily the favorites of mine, and even the cars, yeah, didn't include the Formula Gran Turismo, which was my favorite car to drive. But finally, Gran Turismo 5 did come out, and yeah, I spent 2 solid years playing this pretty much every night. Got even more serious with the simulation style play and the gear at home. But I always felt like there was something about the handling that was off. So I was enjoying this game, but always looking for other options. So, Need for Speed Shift. I really enjoyed this game for the most part. Everything about it was good, at least in terms of the audio and the visuals. And even the handling was pretty good, except for the fact that there was a lot of input lag. So everything you did, the car would respond very late, and you can imagine how that can lead to some escalating handling problems. But yeah, when you got used to it, it wasn't too bad. But yeah, definitely a different handling model and not entirely realistic, but pretty close, pretty good on the sim side. And I also have Grand Theft Auto 4. I wasn't really that into the story on this one, so I really didn't get very far in the missions, but I really enjoyed how vast the arena, the modeling of sort of the New York City kind of world was really well done, and just huge neighborhoods with lots of streets to drive around in it. So as far as just exploring and, breaking things and stealing cars, whatever, this was a pretty good game, so enjoyed it a lot. These days my PS3 is kind of not doing a whole lot because I've moved on to the Xbox 360, and this is Forza Motorsport, which has was already pretty old by the time I bought the console and got this game. This is the Game of the Year edition, which has a lot of additional cars added. This is a wonderful game. I even had to get some new steering wheel and pedal kind of gear to be able to play this. But I think that it's a slightly more realistic experience, and again, I say that as somebody who's, raced real cars and raced karts. I definitely feel like especially the tire model, it's not like the grip is just either on or off, so I really like playing this for that. And the audio and even the graphics are not too bad, but the audio is amazing. Every car sounds, albeit a little exaggerated, but every car sounds what it really would sound like, and not, the standard joke or complaint that people talk about some other racing games where cars often sound like vacuum cleaners or something. I mean, they don't have nearly the power they should. So they did a very good job with this. So yeah, I'm currently enjoying this very much. So anyway, that's about it for my game collection at the moment. Like I said, it's not too large. I do have all three of the consoles that I've mentioned. They're still hooked up, and maybe in another video I'll give you a glance at that. So anyway, I hope you have enjoyed. Kind of been just babbling on about, my personal experiences with all these games. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this little clip, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.